The perfect Star Wars director is right in front of us.
Is there a character or a scenario that would get you to do a feature film in Star Wars?
Oh my goodness. I think it would take someone asking me.
Okay, that's it.
Bryce Dallas Howard is the Star Wars director we need, and this is why. The fact is, Star Wars needs some new blood. Because if there's one thing that this franchise really needs, it's a vision for the future. The good news is we don't have to look very far. She's already really well known in the Star Wars universe because she's already been doing Star Wars for us. A well-known name in the film industry, and for good reason. She's not just a great director, she's an incredible actress on her own merit. Oh, and by the way, Star Wars runs pretty deep in her family. Her dad is none other than Ron Howard, the legend from shows like The Andy Griffith Show and Happy Days. Old Richie Cunningham turned out to be quite the Hollywood film prodigy. He went on to direct a number of critical and commercial successes, such as Apollo 13, Ransom, A Beautiful Mind, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Well, I think some people like that movie. I've never seen it, but some people like it. Rush, that's a great movie. By the way, one of the best movies, maybe the only good movie right now about Formula One. In the Heart of the Sea, that movie's pretty good. And then there's Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, I will say it's not a popular film with me, but to be fair, it's not really Ron's fault. He went into kind of an impossible situation. Anyways, the point is, guess who is shadowing little Richie Cunningham on the set of Solo, a Star Wars story? That's right, chip off the old block, Bryce herself. Apparently, Bryce spent as much time as she could on set with her dad. So like I said, the Star Wars blood runs deep in this family. Bryce is incredibly successful on her own. We can make an entire video about just how great of an actress she is. And she's one of those actresses who's just so captivating. She brings so much passion and effort and character and life to her roles on screen that I'll watch her in just about anything. Obviously, too, she's very beautiful.
Wow.
She just has this incredible range and charisma, likability, and that laugh. Oh my goodness, that laugh is amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Bryce got her big break as a director when The Mandalorian dropped. She directed Chapter 4, Sanctuary, which also introduced one of my favorite characters, Cara Dune, played amazingly by Gina Carano. And yes, I am still absolutely pissed about Gina Carano's removal, and I sincerely hope that Disney will wake up and realize their error. I don't hold anything against Bryce Dallas Howard for that, and I believe they're friends. I believe they have a good relationship, but I'm not entirely sure. Now, Ms. Howard also directed an episode in season 2 of The Mandalorian called The Heiress, and it was the first live-action adaptation of the character of Bo-Katan, who was played by Katie Sackhoff. Again, seems like Miss Howard is really good at handling both action and character-driven narratives. But let's not forget the key point. She's directed 2 of the most popular episodes of any Star Wars TV show today. Now, I will say the episode that she directed in season 3 of The Mandalorian, I did not like that episode, but not because of the directing. It was just because I thought it was just not well written. It was too silly, you know. But to be fair, that entire 3rd season is a bit of a mess. Like, there's some good about it, but there's a lot of weird stuff they tried that just didn't fit. It's also worth noting that Miss Howard directed probably the best episode of the Book of Boba, which reintroduced us to the Mandalorian character. That was probably the best episode of that entire season that I can remember. So a lot of people call it like it was Mandalorian 2.5 because of that, because it was a very Mando heavy centric episode. And also, that episode of Book of Boba, I forget what it's called, but it has a really cool callback to the prequel era. Bryce, you know the way to my heart. Also, we cannot forget the recent Skeleton Crew. And I think she directed episode 6. I don't remember the name. I apologize. She delivers every time. Every time. She's done this again and again and again with these big budget TV adaptations of Star Wars. Another reason why I think Bryce should direct more Star Wars, her reputation is just stellar. There's this reoccurring theme that you read about and you hear about people that work with her, whether she's directing or acting, they're just impressed by her versatility and her adaptability, which is hard. It's hard to be good at multiple things in this industry. And she's disciplined herself to be able to do that without being overbearing, without, dominating people, but showing leadership when she needs to. And then also taking that servant leader role and then listening to others when they're directing her. She's got that balance and that humility about it. She's carved out a path for herself, and every bit of her success is deserved. And yes, she learned from her father. She has this great relationship with her dad, and I love that. I hope that my own daughter and I will have a relationship like that someday, where we can maybe collaborate or something in a creative way. That would be awesome. You might say, look, she's never directed a big movie. I know that a television show is often not as big a production as a feature film, but Star Wars live action productions are not tiny productions. They are big budget productions. They're massive undertakings. I mean, look, Andor just dropped, right? Season 2, that's what everybody's talking about right now at the time of this video. By the time I drop this, I don't know, the whole season might be out. Miss Howard has plenty of experience to bring to the table to direct a feature-length Star Wars film. She's just proven it. She's already been doing the job, basically. She's demonstrated time and time again that she possesses the necessary qualities to take Star Wars to the next level and honor everything that's come before. Everything that she develops and is a part of, it complements the past and it honors the past. And that's something you need as well. You need somebody who loves Star Wars for what it is and also has their own talent to bring to the table. We don't need more directors and more writers that want to reinvent Star Wars every time they get the chance. We don't need more people who are going to come in and just try to completely reimagine what George did and dismiss it. You can't just come in and crap on somebody's legacy like that. And what fans, because the fans, we are the ones that have been supporting this franchise. We're the ones spending the money to pay for tickets, to pay for merchandise, to pay for Disney Plus. We're the ones. So you can't just turn around and say sorry guys, it's time for a new vision that doesn't honor anything of what came before. No, Bryce understands and respects Star Wars for what it is, and that's what we need. She's never tried to remake Star Wars in her own image, and she's never made it so overtly political nobody wants to watch it. It's not that politics doesn't belong in Star Wars. It's that you need to have a purpose behind it that goes beyond just a blatant social justice message. We don't need that every 2 seconds. And especially if you're not even going to do a good job. I think people would love to have her leading a Star Wars film project. And we should also mention, it's really important to mention, she wants to direct a Star Wars movie. She's just waiting for a text. She's literally said, I'm waiting for a text. She has said this even more recently. I just saw something recently that said she wanted to direct a Mace Windu film or something. I didn't even read the whole, I'm not even on board really with bringing back Mace Windu in that capacity. But if it was Bryce Dallas Howard leading it, I would watch it just because she's doing it. And so I guess the question I'm left with wondering is what kind of project should she do? I mean, I would love to know what you think. Obviously, she belongs in Star Wars. We want to keep her there because she's doing a great job.
When do you get your turn at bat for a Star Wars feature? Have you raised your hand? That has been a discussion. I refuse to believe that you, Filoni, Favreau, Kathy Kennedy, have not said maybe at some point. No?
I would always say yes. I would always say yes.
You're not the one saying no. You would be up for it.
I mean, honestly, it's how many Star Wars features are there, right?
My vote is that she takes over the reins for the Rey movie. I really want everybody to like this character, and there's still, I think, an opportunity to fix that. But you need somebody to take the lead on that, who understands it, who's not going to keep taking things in the wrong direction. It blows my mind that Kathleen Kennedy has not begged her to make a Star Wars film. This is why I'm I don't think you appreciate her greatness. This is why I think she needs to go. You're making all these questionable decisions. Why are you not begging her to make films for you? She would do it in a heartbeat, and she'd do an amazing job. How much more do you need? How much more does she have to do for you? My goodness, why did we greenlight this movie with Charmin Chenoy, who has no experience with this kind of thing? And Bryce Dallas Howard is right there. Anyways, Miss Howard, if you ever see this, not that you will, but thank you for the bottom of my heart for the phenomenal work you've done for the Star Wars franchise. And not just Star Wars, you bring an incredible energy and passion to every project that you touch. And I just hope you get the chance to make that big budget Star Wars film that you deserve. Somebody make this happen and make it happen now. That's all I have to say.